is a D6 generation pip. Yeah, one of those dots on the side of a six-sided die. Yeah, a pip. You know, a short pip. Little something. Yeah, about anything gaming related. Sometimes featuring Craig, sometimes featuring Russ. We'll see what's coming up today. Hey everyone, welcome to another D6 generation pip. Again, another roleplay 8 charisma D&D session coming at you here. Hope you've been enjoying these. We seem to be getting good feedback, so we're still going. A couple of quick announcements here. One, very excited to be moving to a weekly format. So the goal here is to release new content every Sunday morning. Going to see if I can pull this off. Here's day one. Let's see if I can get 2 in a row here. It means, though, we won't be packing as many segments in a show. We were kind of going back to putting a lot of segments in one episode, trying to get 2 out a month for you. Now we're going to try to go to weekly, 1 segment every week. So same amount of content, really, just on a more regular cadence. So let us know, A, how you like this, but B, we'll see if I can do it. I think I can. It actually should be a little easier on this regular cadence. Also going to try to balance it between sort of a D&D episode and maybe other kinds of content every other time. Keep it mixed up a little bit here. So hopefully you'll like that. Second bit of announcement here is the next couple of Dungeons & Dragons segments. The audio is not where we would normally like it to be. A couple reasons for that. We started to experiment. And we experimented instead of recording everything on Zoom, which we had been doing. And by the way, we're back to Zoom again because this experiment did not go well, as you'll hear in a minute. We're back to doing Zoom. And it's not that Zoom is an amazing miracle recording tool or everything else isn't. It's just that we tried using Discord. And the theory behind playing around on Discord was maybe our listeners, we have a Patreon integration there, so patrons could come listen live, all that sort of stuff. However, unfortunately, Discord doesn't have a built-in recorder that works well. 2 issues. One, it doesn't have a built-in recorder that works well, so we tried to record with something else. But secondly, the audio on Discord is not quite as good. It's not that Discord doesn't have solid audio. It's that, I guess, a better way to say it is the imperfection in everyone else's audio equipment is more obvious on Discord. I think Zoom does a really good job of sort of leveling out and fixing bad audio input proactively, whereas I think Discord, you just get what you get. So if someone's got a good mic, you're fine on Discord. If someone doesn't, you can tell. It also doesn't seem quite as robust at phasing out background noise and like echo as Zoom was. So unfortunately, these next couple of sessions, they were recorded using Discord, and we tried to fix it, and it wasn't great. So you may hear some audio issues in these, a little bit of echo, maybe some folks are a little quiet, and I apologize. I'm trying to fix it in post, but it's not really working out. So the bad news, next couple of sessions. The good news, we go back to Zoom, so it'll go away, and hopefully this will just be a little interim annoyance, and I apologize for that. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this, an additional episode of Roleplay 8 Charisma. This time around, the dwarves will be discovering the benefits of reverse psychology. Is your character not as agile as you would like?
Karluk looks at Euphemia and says, I really wish he would have missed, and then just falls over.
Is DM's grace in short supply? Oh, and the candles go out on the Minotaur's horns. Is compassion not your character's strong suit?
Minotaur more like beef or more like cannibalism? I'm asking for a friend.
Is persuasion your dump stat?
Be prepared for a caster. These do not move on their own.
There's no caster here.
Listen long enough, and you too might learn how to roleplay 8 Charisma. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Roleplay 8 Charisma. And as is our wont, right, gentlemen, whoever took the most damage last session must give us a summary so we can all remember where the heck we were when he last left our heroes. And I believe, Doc, that was you, was it not?
Yeah, and just barely, because Joe took a heck of a wallet, but luckily heroism kind of saved the day there.
Yes.
Yeah, for Ulrich. So, yeah, all right. I've prepared a few words here, and I'm going to read them now with my Charisma 8 in the voice of Calic. Last week's adventure began with Calic finishing off a carnivorous sod and advancing to set a flank for Euphemia's adventuring squad. However, Pyrrhic began to deliberate. The ancient tree could be good. He did wait. Next, the party watched and held to see if the shadow trend was quelled. Euphemia's negotiations could set it free. Let's wait and see. Nope, the Trent was infused with darkness and its limbs cracked. A giant round branch made quite the impact. Right into Calic's head. With less hit points, the Minotaur would surely be dead. For a few seconds, things went black, and Calic took permanent damage to his dump stat. A volley of attacks later, the tree was felled. Spider Thrall pointed the way. Off ran Calic. This way, he yelled. Ulrich followed Calic, accidentally agreeing with Thrall's command. The resulting psychic damage was unplanned. Spider Thrall was too much. Euphemia lost her cool. However, holding Pyrrhic's hand, Spider Thrall was not the memories so cruel. The party squeezed and advanced orderly through the maze. No, wait, there was Calic running the other way, shouting some crazy phrase. Ulrich did not wait and slowly did advance. He spotted a magic stone, 5 huts, plants, all in a large expanse. Euphemia's backstory did reveal her specialized knowledge of scouting in nature was unveiled. As the adventurers began to investigate, out came bulbous Violet to castigate. Calic ran back. It's time to rhyme. Ulrich, here is a spell, heroism, to block acidic enzymes. With that, the battle did commence. Bulbous Violets went on the offense. Ulrich and Calic engaged the vines. Thrall, Euphemia, and Pyrrhic's support was divine. In fact, Pyrrhic decided to let us know that he really could roll. Barrage after barrage of Nord's light finally felled the evil celery. Secretly, however, Russ continued to taunt the party cleverly. Touch the stone, renew your arcane mastery. Touch the stone. Russ's plan was dastardly. Calic's brain was permanently blown. He knew not but to touch the stone. The stone held light energy that could recharge. However, the Shadow Rift energy did discharge. With no spell slot to pay the price, we all learned that exhaustion levels are not so nice. Several subtle for some tea. Everyone decided on a short rest. We did agree.
Nice. Wow. We'll take a point of inspiration for that one. Carlock, that was impressive, sir.
Girl.
One of your better pieces of work there.
Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That was spectacular. I had to mute Rafe because of echo.
Yeah, Rafe is generating echo. I'm going to have to mute Rafe also. It's creating a real bad kickback. So we're going to have to mute you, Rafe, until you figure out what's going on there. Okay. Excellent summary, Doc. And that's where we did leave our heroes. You guys fought your way past numerous obstacles, including a large tree, some very vine-like purple flowers. And now you have decided to take a short rest, which, as we discussed last time, is about an hour. There are more of those purpley flowers on the huts nearby. So you're in this large clearing. There are 5 huts surrounding you, as you can see on the screen there that John is sharing with us. And 3 of the huts still have some of those purplish flowers. In fact, I'll move this one over here to remind you all that there's one there too. But they seem to not have been triggered. And there is this giant obelisk in the middle. And as you're resting, Pyrrhic, you felt like when you went to touch the stone, 2 things happened. 2 members of our party tried to touch this obelisk. And everyone sort of felt that there was both a good energy, sort of this positive arcane energy coming out, but also it was amplifying this negative energy that seemed to be coming from the northeast. And this northwest. And this negative energy is also being amplified, but you're able to touch the stone, and it did send out some good arcanic energy if you could master that energy. And unfortunately, Carluck did not master it and became sort of exhausted. But Pyric did master it using his staff. He channeled the energy through his staff and rolled a natural 20 Arcana check and was able to recharge a spell slot. But also, Pyric, this energy is still sort of swirling around you as you take this this long rest and short rest, excuse me. And you think you might be able to do something with it. Have you thought about anything you want to kind of do with this energy, Seppi?
Well, it's a very special time in a sorcerer's life when he discovers the energy of his staff. And so I was hoping to permanently imbibe into my staff some of this great knowledge and mysticism from this place. You know, I really felt horrible that the previous owner of the staff misinterpreted the staff as glass instead of ice. And so taking the opportunity to finally cleanse the awful energy and potential karmic effects off of that staff, I would really like to take a time to harmonize with these energies that I did capture, because you never know what's going to happen in a place like this. It could really just burn down to the ground for absolutely no reason. Like, we've been in situations before where, oh my gosh, where did all this fire come from? And so it would be a real shame if this obelisk ended up, triggering some sort of catastrophic something, and my staff and my time for communing on it would be the only record left. And so I would like to try to seal some of that runic energy into my staff, meditating like elves do, and trying to use this infusion in case this is the only time if we are not able to free the obelisk and this area is destroyed by unknown cataclysm. Not that Russ would ever do that to anybody, or that, spells go crazy and fires happen. This is stuff.
Stuff does happen. Well, I felt it was only fair, since you rolled a natural 20, there might be a chance that you get sort of a permanent boon to either yourself or your staff from this. So why don't we go ahead and why don't we have you roll some percentile dice? Now, I've created a little chart here that is the different things that could happen if you do well. But since you kind of gave a really good, sort of dissertation of how you'd like to try to do this, I'm going to give you a +10 to your percentile die roll.
Oh, that's so exciting. Oh my gosh.
So that's going to be an 11?
What's that?
Can I use inspiration on this kind of roll or no?
Sure. If you use inspiration, if you burn an inspiration, I'll give you an additional +10. So now you'll have +20 to your die roll.
Oh,
if you'd like.
I will take the +20.
Okay.
Yeah, I would absolutely love to do that.
So now before you do that, let me show you what your chances are here. So I'll show you in the audience playing along here what the chances are. Let's see. We're going to call this, let's call it Pyric's Boon.
Whoa.
Pyric's Boon.
That's so exciting.
And
we'll remember this is the last time I rolled well. Okay, can I do this?
All right, here we go.
Oh, I'm excited.
Here comes the table, the Pyric's Boon table. There it is. Here comes the roll. Pyric has rolled a 97. Whoa, even without the +20. So Pyric, you get a
second roll because I got +20.
No, but you do get the maximum benefit, which is you don't actually end up charging your staff. You charge your own brain. Your brain is permanently infused with this arcanic sensitivity. Tell you what, since you burned all these points, I'll give you the top 2 choices off the list. So you get a permanent +1 intelligence.
Oh.
So your intelligence goes up 1. And
amazing.
You have a permanent arcana sensitivity. So you have +1 to all future arcana checks.
That's +2 total.
Oh my God.
So that's +1 intelligence. It's not +2 because your intelligence goes up +1. Whatever your intelligence. What was your intelligence before?
I would go from a 16 to a 17.
Right. So if that moves you up to the next bonus tier, then it would be an additional plus, but I don't know if it does. But yeah, your intelligence goes to 17, and you now have permanent +1 to all Arcana checks. That's right. You're just really one with Arcana.
Oh, how do
you literally
awesome.
You literally absorbed in Karlik's lost intelligence.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, the tree must have sent it back. for redistribution through the obelisk. Yes.
It knocked him in the head and it popped him right into Pierre's brain.
Although if we're honest, it had to be some other people's intelligence as well, because I'm not sure enough came out of the Minotaur to be this potent. You know, this is pretty cool.
That's super exciting.
Occasionally, we will not hold it against you.
All right.
That's all right. Very, that's very exciting. Now, does anyone know Roll20 enough that I could add that permanent Arcana check bonus to my sheet, or is that just something I should keep track of?
Just make a note in your sheet there. You just have to remember it.
Russ, I thought we took a long rest.
No,
short rest
because you were feeling a little bit like this was dangerous, and so taking an 8-hour rest would be risky. I believe. Does anybody misremember that? I wrote down short.
I've done a short rest because I had to burn my hit dice.
Yes. Yeah, I wrote down short rest also. So Pyric.
Oh, you know what? I was confused because all my spells are maxed out, but that's because I've been in animal form the entire time.
Yeah, you haven't really done much except for scare people as a spider.
Whoa! You sound like your brother with
spoken, Russ. He hasn't done much.
Sorry,
you sound just like Ulrich.
I was channeling Ulrich there. I apologize. All right, Pyric got +1 intelligence.
I've been so busy picking up after Ulrich, to be honest.
Thank you for being so generous,
and
Russ. I mean, I've never rolled so well. I am so excited.
You've been hot this whole forest adventure here. Okay, so the short rest.
The irony of me murdering trees. No one loves trees like Pyric, and so if we're murdering trees, then obviously I need to be hot.
It's because we're in a maze, Pyric.
Yeah, it's because we're in a maze. Sorry, Russ. Let's go.
No problem. So the short rest comes to a nice end, and surprisingly, like, nothing does bother you. Nothing comes in. No more of those little corrupt pixies show up. As you rest, it seems the forest around you rests. Although you're definitely feeling those pulsing waves coming from the northwest. I'm going to ping northwest so everybody kind of remembers what that means. So what would you guys like to do now? You're just kind of recovering from your short rest. It's been about an hour. Pyric is looking like just smarter than ever.
Are we getting ready to move out?
Yes. We are getting ready to move out now. Belly up and turn into a spider or a bear or whatever you do. Let's go.
Put your eye hole. Euphemia, come here for a second, little one.
Is Euphemia still muted? Is she still doing the echoing?
I heard her. It was very faint.
She's very quiet, though. It's like she's in a little tin can. We can't hear Euphemia.
Well, we have a few seconds. I'm going to lay on hands of myself a few more hit points, just because I'm still down a few.
Okay.
Not that it'll top me off, but I'm going to give myself... Oops, went the wrong way.
Go ahead and roll that, Joe.
It's just lay on hands.
Nope, Rafe, you sound like you're in a can.
You're really quiet, Rafe.
Yeah.
Well, I turned down my gain, so let me get them back.
Yeah, we can't hear you at all.
I can hear him, but it's just very faint.
Do you have headphones, Rafe?
Yeah, if you use headphones, Rafe, you should be able to get back to what you're trying to do here.
That's crap. How about now?
There you go.
Well, we can hear you swearing.
Your volume up.
All right, I walk up to Euphemia, and I said, "Yeah," and I grab some earth, rub it together, touch her on the shoulder. I give unto you the power of the trees of which Pyric speaks so highly of, and I cast Bark Skin on Euphemia. So you're going to have a 16 armor class until unless I get knocked in the head like Calic, or I get hit by something and lose concentration, or an hour passes. That was what I was getting.
All right.
Thank you, Bear Brother. I will wear the earth proudly. Pyric, are we ready to go?
Oh yeah, I think we're ready. I feel like I'm one with this place.
Point your pole in the direction we're supposed to go.
Okay then.
That's not the first time he said that.
I believe if we get too close to these huts, those creatures with acid will attack us again. So stay clear of them at least 5 or 10 feet if you can.
Euphemia, are we feeling lucky and we want to try to sneak past in the middle? You, of course, can. Or should we just take out one on the left and then, all plan on ambushing it?
I'll test it out.
Are you able to talk to them in your tree language?
Speak to them in Vine.
Russ, I'm going to go one at a time. I'm going to walk this way. So I'm going here. Then I go here.
Okay, yeah. So far, so good.
Then I go here.
All right, so far, so good.
Then I go here.
You're good still?
Then I go here.
You're
And
still
then I
good?
stop here. I say, follow that path. You'll be fine.
I will do, Bear Brother.
All right, I don't follow the path. I go here because it's different.
Okay.
Then here. Then here.
Okay.
And then here. And go, no. That works fine too.
Joe, make a dexterity check because that path gets you just a little closer. I need you to make a dex check.
Yeah, that's going to be good.
And Rafe, you're still a little quiet sometimes, so you might want to turn your volume up. Only one die, though, Joe.
Why did it get two?
It's got advantage turned on or something.
Let me, there's no advantage on this. I'll try it again. Ready?
There you go.
13.
Ah, you made it. So you feel like you're getting a little too close to the hut, but you save yourself just in time, and you manage to sneak by.
And stick a finger in my brother's eye.
Yes, and so both of you, Joe, take a point of inspiration for ignoring your brother.
1, 2, 3,
Yep.
4, 5, 6.
All right, Pyric
I'll get
is
7.
Pyric is okay. Rafe, we're still getting a little bit of echo from you, so you're either
All right, I'll switch to headphones.
You're either too, and you're way too quiet when we're not getting an echo. So, all right, nice job, Euphemia. Looking good so far.
Cowlick, I'm going to need you to follow the trampled grass.
All right. So everybody is sneaking by these violets very effectively so far.
Use that herd mentality and just follow Euphemia's path.
Herd mentality. And Karluk also so far doing a very respectable job for someone who just got conked on the noggin. And also threading the needle here between the plants. And you guys have formed a reasonably good line here down this trail to the northwest. And right now, Thrall is in the lead, followed by Pyric, then followed by Ulrich, then Euphemia, and then Karluk. So why don't we keep going in marching order here? So let's go with Thrall. Thrall, what are you going to do? Now, Thrall, ahead of you, okay, just ahead of you, you see an area that's starting to open up, but it looks a little strange. So let me go ahead and describe this to you. So you see an opening going into a glade, and there are several sort of withered trees ahead of you. And you can just already feel sort of your druidic senses are tingling. And you're already sort of feeling the air in this glade is reeking of decaying leaves and dead insects. And you can see the ground is all brown and wilted grass covering all the land around it. The trees along the edges are very sickly. And there's actually several sort of these very sickly, sort of wriggly little windy trees in the corner. And there's this, that's as much as you can see right now from your current position.
All right.
Go ahead.
I want you all to remember these trees and these flowers are affected by the blight, as Pyric pointed out to us, and the Radolf. So they are not acting on their normal, on their natural tendencies. So try not to burn them, slash them, smash them, unless you absolutely have to. I will try to talk them down.
I look back to Euphemia and Light and Cowlick behind me and go, if you have to, you got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean?
All right. So now Thrall is advancing somewhat. So Thrall is taking a few steps forward and starting to enter into this glade. And And near the center of the glade, you see a couple things start to happen at once here, Thrall. So first, near the center of the glade, there's this dark smudge of energy. And almost like when you look at it, it kind of like starts flickering around and you can't really focus on it very easily. And it's sort of swirling around in the center of this clearing, and several bodies are just lying around it. But also there's these trees that are, you can sort of see them there, right? There's one, I'm going to ping them. There is one right here where I'm pinging. Whoops. I'm pinging
not
now.
seeing your ping.
One there. And there's one over here. I don't know if my pings are showing up yet. They should be.
Yeah, I saw them.
And there's more around the corner. But as you start to come forward, make a perception check there, Thrall. And John makes the perception check and rolls
14. I got
14. Everything looks weird, but you don't notice anything besides what I've described to you so far.
all right then. I moved to there, Russell.
All right. So, Ulrich, you can see Thrall so going forward. Is anybody following Thrall at this point, or are you all staying where you are?
I'm going to take an action to cast Bless on myself, Euphemia, and Karlik. And then I'm going to take a movement, and I'm going to move up to here.
All right. Give everybody the icons that you just blessed there, Joe.
Yep.
Pick an appropriate one. And so...
Joe can't give icons to other tokens.
Okay. So Ulrich has advanced up to the edge of the clearing there. And I'll give everybody a little bless here. So you said Euphemia, Joe?
Euphemia, Karlik, and myself. I can do up to 3 creatures, I believe.
All right, excellent.
Staying
And
behind
Euphemia also advanced. So Euphemia is right behind you there, Ulrich, which is great. And Euphemia has bless also. And you gave bless was what, the little strong arms? I'll give you the strong arm one there.
I did strong arms. You can do whatever.
That's fine.
I'll copy you.
As long as it's consistent. And you look around the corner too, Ulrich, and you see the same sort of thing. You see these sort of 4 bedraggled trees around the corner. The whole area is just sort of wilted. And there's this sort of smudgy, sort of dark energy swirling in the center. There is... Euphemia, you see sort of the same thing, and you're starting to get this sense. Make a perception check also, Joe.
Perception? Oh, yeah, I'm awesome at this. I don't know why I even ask, but here we go. Ready? Perception. Here we go. 10.
Yeah, it looks weird, but what you see seems
Whoa.
weird.
I have, hold on. I get the extra D4 from my bless.
Oh, all the time, or just you just spend it?
No, it's automatic for any save.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is it save? Oh, no, it's saving. So it's saving your attack. Sorry, it's not.
No help there.
Sorry,
Okay. Good try, though. I like it. Okay. So far, Euphemia and Ulrich are right around the corner behind Thrall. Pyric and Karlik, what are you guys going to do?
Well, I feel like I have a new kindredship with Cowlick. I was very tentative in the early times of Cowlick, but, he has really stepped up with his bravery and mostly the sick rhymes. And, and I really respect a craftsman, and he's a craftsman of words. But staying back here, and unknown possibilities, I am suffering from a heightened sense of cowardice.
Ooh.
So I am going to step forward so carefully and keep my eye on my staff, trying to figure out how close we are to the proximity of the sources of the energies that are warping the arcane. I know the sense of the arcane is the obelisk behind me, but I'm trying to find out where the total corruption has come from. Are we now sort of in the basking? Is this smudge basking in the corruptive energy.
Is Pyric talking out loud as you do that, or is that all in internal thought?
Oh, it's a little bit of each. I might be crazy.
Then I will say, I'm like, Pyric, we found your rift. It's right in front of me.
Ooh. I don't know if it's mine. Can I claim
My
it?
brother
No, I
found
don't
a
think
crack
that's
you
a
might
good
like.
idea. Oh, I feel like that's leading. I think that's elf baiting. I don't think that's very nice.
Can we take a second move, Russ?
Oh, wait. Pyric, though, I want to make sure. Did you want to use your action for anything, or were you just musing out loud?
I think I said enough to use an action. I need to shut up.
Okay, good. Karluk, what are you doing? And then we'll go back to the dwarves in the lead here. What are you doing, Karluk?
Hey, Karluk's been acting pretty nervous, like going between these two flowers here, pretty skittish about these carnivorous plants, and sort of even in a maze, heading up the back here, comes on up by Pyric. It's like, Pyric, I feel like a kinship with you. I feel, I don't know, like a coward. We're kind of closing in on this rift that probably has a very evil power.
Those sick.
Karluk, no need to be nervous. I haven't seen a bugbear yet.
Is there a bugbear? All right, well, I'm going to take my other move
Pretty sure there's not.
No. Okay, well, I already charged forward to find the bugbear.
You heard bugbear. All right, so Karluk, you come charging forward. So far, everybody's kind of moving slowly. You come charging forward like a, let's be honest, like a bull in a china shop. And as you do, the tree. So there's this tree just to the north of Thalric, excuse me, and I'm just pinged it. And the tree seems to like vibrate a little bit, and a voice echoes out of it. It is you who've been attacking my children. And we all need to roll for initiative.
All right.
When he said you, was he referring to us or to Karluk in particular?
Well, that's unclear at this time. Hang on a second. Don't roll yet. I'm deleting everyone from Field Tracker. Okay, now roll your initiative rolls. Let me do this.
I think we should try to reason with it. I'll go stand over by it first, though.
Now's the time for fire, in case you're wondering.
All right. Okay. So here's the scoop. I'm going to add is everybody in there? All right. Looks like everybody's in there. Good. So I'm showing Thrall, you got an 11. Pyric, you got a 10. Ulrich, you got a 9. Euphemia also got a 9, but Ulrich wins the tiebreaker. And Karluk, you got a 7. Does that sound right?
Yes, it does. I think the dice were role-playing our proximity on the map.
I think it might have. It worked pretty well. So
some pretty crappy rolling all in general for us. Our highest is an 11.
Yeah, it was not great. Well, if it makes you feel better, whatever forces of darkness are involved didn't roll very well either. Okay, so Thrallric, what would you like to do, having heard that voice?
I am going to move here, and as I move, so I'm moving in front of Karluk.
Yeah,
and I put my hands out and I say, "Relax, Ancient One. We are not here to hurt. We are here to heal. Hold your attacks, and we will hold ours."
Make a persuasion check.
Do I have? I don't think I have. I don't have any inspiration, so this will be raw. Oh yeah, this is a really good stat for me. Oh, I'm just like the wizard trying to persuade somebody.
So for those playing along at home, Thrall rolled a 5, natural. So the tree vibrates, deceiver. All right, Thrall, that was some dialogue. You want to try anything else?
He thinks I'm lying.
Yep. Okay. Are you going to do anything else, Thrall, or is that it?
I will. I would have used the dodge action, so I'm defending.
Okay, fair enough. That seems fair because you barely spoke to her. You didn't say much. All right. Pyric, you're up. You saw Thrall's negotiation skills in action. What do you want to do?
First of all, I'm like, that's exactly what I would have said and how I would have said it. And so I'm just amazed at the fact that we are so like-minded in our interpersonal or interspecial
Because
skills.
your intelligence went up. That's why we're so alike now.
Oh, yeah. I don't think that's it. I'm going to prepare the power of the Nord here from the back of sort of anything springs on my like-minded dwarf brethren. Now that we're so in sync, I am going to fire at it the power of the Nord.
So you're holding your action until something you can see strikes out at Thrall. Is that what we're saying?
Yes.
Fair enough.
Yes, I am.
Fair enough. Okay. Ulrich, what are you going to do? You've seen your brother's, again, his negotiation skills in action. What are you going to do?
This is going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, so I'm going to step up here and here. When I look over here at this crack, is it something I can like shove my brother in? How big is it?
All right, excellent. Okay,
Hit
so
the crack with your hammer.
it's you're sensing. So make a perception check there, Joe.
Yeah, perception. I can do that.
Actually, no. Make it an insight because you're looking at something
insight?
that's there. So it's really an insight.
Oh yeah. You know it, baby. Read it.
Oh.
16.
6. Oh, that's a respectable score.
I am a dwarf with no small water.
So a couple things happen. You feel a sense of two things are going on here at once. You're feeling a sense of anguish. You're not really sure why, but you're feeling a sense of anguish coming from the 4 trees around you. But then also at the same time, the rift in the middle, your clerical perception, you're kind of getting the sense that it's definitely spewing out necrotic energy and wild magic at like sort of regular pulses. And you feel like getting close to this could be dangerous. But you also feel like it might be possible to close it with the right kind of energy. But unfortunately, your insight wasn't strong enough to really glean exactly what types of energy, but you feel like the right kinds of energy could cause this necrotic rift to close.
Okay. Your Grace, this rift can only be closed by magic. Bring up your staff and frost this crevice the best way you can.
Okay, so
you'll also take the dodge action.
So you're asking me come up here there and fill your crack. Got it. I am just behind you.
Yes, because the crack is spewing things you do not like.
Oh yeah, that's always a problem.
That's
a problem.
I'm going to also take the dodge action and goes, be careful about getting too close to it. It's spewing some vileness.
All right.
More like, I look around, but I take the dodge action.
All right. So Ulrich is dodging. And Euphemia, what would you like to do?
First of all, can you hear me okay a little bit better now?
You're a little quiet, but we can hear you better than before.
All right, I'll turn up my gain a little bit more next time.
All right.
I keep inching it up so I don't get too loud. Well, that's what Ulrich just discovered is changed what Euphemia was going to do. She was going to go creep up and look inside the crack, but that doesn't sound wise at this point in time. Euphemia is going to move up and do a nature check and see if she can't use nature to discover anything about the crack.
Okay, go for it.
All right.
Nice.
Oh, 19's very good. Okay, you're sensing, you also sense this, okay, a couple things happen. You sense there's very powerful necrotic energy, and as you move to where you are, you feel like you may have stepped a tad too close right when one of the pulses went out, unfortunately, and you take D6 necrotic damage. So you take 5 points of damage. Necrotic damage as a pulse just hits you just right. And the pulses are sort of sporadic. So it feels like sometimes you might have been able to come this way, but just not when you chose to do it. The good news is, though...
No save, no nothing?
Nope. The good news is you felt that wave plus your natural halfling curiosity plus your understanding of nature gave you additional insights. And you feel like this rift either life magic, like holy life magic would be the antithesis of this rift. That would definitely not be good. And then also radiant damage would also be the antithesis of what this rift is all about. And you feel like that also might mess with it pretty good. Anything that involves nature and growth would also be the antithesis of this rift and also might be a good way to stop it.
All right, then what Euphemia's going to do is use her dash action to go back to Pyric, although I'm stuck on the corner there, and say, Pyric, and then she kind of dry heaves a little bit from the energy she just took. So she starts to retch a little bit. Pyric, I don't know who could do this, but I get the sense that a life magic force or a nature... maybe Thrallrick can do this. She doesn't understand paladins, Ulrich. She just thinks of you as a dwarven fighter.
I help steady Euphemia, and I see that she's very pale, and she is paid for this insight. And I understand paying for insight. And so I'm like, Euphemia, you need to secretly trick the brothers to both use their nature and holy abilities at the same time without telling them that they're cooperating.
Okay. I'll try to gather my wits and my senses.
Because if you can get them to do it together, the chance of success is very good. But getting them to do anything together it's not good. No, it's bad.
Okay, I'll try. That's it for my turn.
All right, nice, Euphemia. Good one. All right, well, now it is someone else's turn. And that someone else is apparently the tree just to the north of Thrallrick.
What happened to Calic?
What's that?
What happened to Calic?
Calic's right behind you.
Oh, but his turn. He's behind the tree.
The tree is going next.
Okay.
So there's some people in the turn order that you can't see. Let's just say. And so the tree is going to... So one of the things is cool, pro tip for any Roll20 dungeon masters out there. So one of my favorite things about Roll20 is the dungeon master layer on the map. So when you put things on a map, you can right-click on any icon and choose what layer it's in. You can put it in the background layer, so basically it won't move around on you when you're moving tokens. You can put it in the token layer, where all the players live and stuff and monsters live. But you can also put it in the GM layer. In the GM layer, only the GM can see it. And if anything in the GM layer rolls initiative, it goes invisibly into the GM and into the initiative tracker that only the GM can see. So this allows me to have monsters doing things that the players don't even know are there. Pretty cool, right? Okay, back to our game. All right, in action. What's that?
For listeners at home, he's saying layer.
Layer. Yes. Layer. Or layer, which is a different thing than layer. Thank you, Mr. Lawyer. All right, so the tree, who is in the DM layer, but it's also in its lair, the tree lashes out with one of its branches, like extend and whips out, like preternaturally long. Like it's just not right how it does it. In fact, Thalric, when you see this coming at you, it just messes with your druidic natural mind, and like 4 rules of nature are being broken all at once, not to mention 2 rules of physics. And the branch comes right at your head, rolling to hit. You've got dodge up, right?
It has disadvantage.
So it's got disadvantage. So here comes the 2 rolls. It's got to pick the worst one. Here they come. It rolls a 19, which would have been great, but it also rolls an 8. And it's got a +5 on that, so it's going to get a 13 on you there, Thrallrick. That's probably a miss, right?
That's gonna ring off of my wooden shield that I'm holding.
So thanks to your dodge, you're able to deflect the branch as it comes right at you and then sort of retracts back like an elastic rubber band into the tree. And so, Karluk, it is now your turn.
Does it appear like we can? I mean, you didn't put a token down there, so I'm wondering, does Kalik think he could attack this tree? I mean, does it look like?
Oh, the tree looks damaged. I mean, the tree looks like a tree. You could try to attack that tree. It's on the map.
Yeah.
You can see the little tree on the map. It's that little wither-looking thing. Yeah.
Does it have like a face or an evil goatee or anything that I can recognize? To
you know what? Make a insight check there, Karluk.
All right. Ooh, 7.
Yeah, there's definitely no evil goatee going on.
All right. Well, Kalik knows no better than to draw his sword and chop the tree. It's that plan's got to work.
Charging a tree is always the right call. We've learned that already.
So he's going to shout out, "Dark Forest, we are going to cleanse your spirituality. And we're going to do that with Pyrrhic's staff and plunge it deep in your crack by analogy."
Okay. I guess that's going to happen. All right.
Yep.
I feel like a player. I just took psychic damage. What does that mean?
You get to add plus D4 to your attack rolls, Karluk, too.
Oh, nice. All right. Well, that was a 16 to hit plus a D4 then.
All right. So what'd you get?
18.
18. That's gonna hit.
All right.
Roll damage.
Here it comes. My damage rolls lately, 6.
All right.
Total.
Okay. You hack into the tree deeply, and you hear from inside the tree, "Again, you hurt my creatures." And Karluk, you got anything else going on there? You done?
I hold my hand up like this above my head. That's the end of my turn.
All right. Right. Ready for the obligatory blow to the head. Thrallrick,
Right.
You're up.
I say, sorry, little one, but my magic is needed elsewhere. Karluk, stand down. Defend yourself only. And I cast Entangle on the rift.
Oh, on the
That's
rift.
the word.
Okay, nice.
So it's growth, plant growth.
Yeah.
Right? I'm thinking this might do something. So I'm conjuring the grass. It's a 20-foot square. So
Yep.
I'm going to get my little drawing tool out here. And so it's going to be 4 by 4. So let's go crazy there. 4. Ooh. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to do it this way. So ignore that first one.
All right. I can clear it.
It's going to be this one right here. And then I yell at Thrall at the top of my lungs. This is mine. The last thing I would ever do if I were you is swing your hammer at that crack with your radiant powers of the forge.
The last thing I would ever do. All right. So
I own this rift. You're nothing. Stand aside. This is mine. And that's my turn.
My work is done.
John, take a point of inspiration because that was awesome. And all right, so the entangle spell actually, as Thalric casts it, you see and you guys have seen him cast this before. So some plants start springing up out of the grass, and they look like they're spreading out over the area that Thrallrick was gesturing towards. But as it strikes the rift, it all starts to get sucked into the rift, but the rift also starts to reduce in size till about almost half its original size. So it's all like sucked in, and the rift's starting to turn green and sort of fluctuating up. It's like it's trying to fight back, but it's definitely smaller than it was before. All right. Nice job, Thrallrick. Up next, Pyrrhic. You're up.
Okay. I'm very concerned about Cowlick and these trees, and I want to keep the dwarves on task with closing the rift. I am not particularly skilled with these types of magical energies, but I am attuned to this area and the staff. Can I do anything to enhance their efforts in closing the rift? Can I like yank some of the obelisk energy away from this so it doesn't get fed? It's not getting fed anymore. Can I push the dwarf miner in front of me and accelerate his holiness?
Well, you can definitely do the last one.
What's in the realm of possibility?
Well, just to be clear, the energy situation is coming out of the rift, and the obelisk is amplifying the rift's energy, not the other way around. So, but you could definitely push the dwarf. That's always on the table.
But wasn't Pyric? Weren't you saying you were going to try to block that energy from the obelisk? Wasn't that what you were saying? I thought that's what you were saying.
Yeah, I would. Is there any way I can block the dark energy from the obelisk to hopefully give these creatures a moment of sanity?
So you're trying to prevent the dark energy from getting to the obelisk.
Yeah, so that it doesn't pulse out and keep them crazy. Maybe they would
well,
get
it
a
seems
little
like
bit of...
all you know right now is what everybody's observed. So you'll have to come up with an idea.
Okay. So what I've seen is that this rift is doing, and I know I've seen and dodged the dark pulse myself.
Yes.
Okay. The next dark pulse, I want to. Oh no, I'm not attuned to the dark pulse energy. I am obviously overthinking it because I'm too smart now. I am instead going to prepare myself to shield Cowlick or Thrallrick if they are attacked.
Oh, nice. Okay, so you're readying a shield action. Ulrich, it's your turn.
Aye, brother. The more you practice, the less you will bleed in battle. Do not tell me what to do. I come running forward and smack this grift with my hammer.
Excellent. All right. Roll to hit with advantage because the rift... Well, actually, on the way in, you're getting really close to the pulsing of the rift, and so you're going to take some necrotic damage.
Yeah, and I'll have to make a constitution save for my...
You're going to take... Actually, when you're getting this close, it's going to be a little rough. So brace for impact. Do you have some kind of defense up against necrotic damage?
Nope.
Okay.
But I made my con save for my ability.
That's all the defense.
So you swing your hammer at the rift. Roll to hit with advantage because the rift is not moving. So that's good. So pretty much it's just a matter of last minute panic. So go ahead and roll to hit the rift with advantage.
1, 2. Take the best of that.
There you go.
17.
So your hammer strikes true on the rift, and its necrotic energy jolts through your hammer and up your arms. What kind of damage is your hammer going to do in this situation?
It's going to be bludgeoning and radiant.
Okay, the bludgeoning part doesn't seem to have any effect, but the radiant will. How much radiant damage are you going to do? What are you using, a spell for this or an ability?
It is Divine Smite.
Nice. All right, excellent.
And that is going to do 8 points of smite, radiant smite damage.
Okay, so your hammer strikes home. There's this blinding flash of radiant light. The rift just detonates with necrotic energy right with the dwarf at the center of it. And you're going to take 4d6 necrotic damage, Joe?
4d6.
4d6. Here it comes. Are you ready?
46.
46. Here they come. All right. Looking like 14 points of damage, Joe.
All right. So I will make my con save so everybody still has bless up.
Okay, go for that.
I made the con save.
Nice.
I did the original.
Nice. All right, excellent. So, you get blasted by this. Sorry.
Joe, you have to do it for each time you get hit.
It's one hit, right?
It's one hit.
No, you got. Well, didn't he take the original necrotic damage when he approached?
No. This was all of it. This was all of it together. I didn't roll any of the necrotic damage.
So I thought I was going to take it before I took
it all came at once.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought you were going to take it earlier.
No, you're good.
My bad.
So you just got one big blast. But believe it or not, after taking 14 points of necrotic damage, the dwarf still stands. Are you bleeding, Joe?
I am not bleeding yet.
So we stand there, and the rift collapses. And as it does so, there's that little pulse there. And
please tell me it sucks him in.
Well, and in that case, I turn back to my brother and I go, "That's why you worship Morden, heathen."
Oh, you're very impressive. Oh, I'm so glad you thought of that on your own.
You told me not to do it. I had to not listen to you.
Oh, yes, masterful. You're so impressive.
And at that moment, a creature emerges from the tree that is right next to Karluk. She sort of like phases out of the tree, like she sort of morphs out of it. And the tree's still there, but she was like inside of it, and she comes out of it, and she looks like this. So she's a little funky looking. And she's all covered in brambles. She's got glowing red eyes, but she's got kind of like a dark visage on her. But even as the rift collapses, she starts to change and morph, and her darkness starts to sort of leach out of her, and she becomes a little less evil looking and a little more natural looking. And you can actually feel the necrotic energy sort of seeping out of her, but you can also tell it's going to be sort of a long process. And she sort of stumbles around. Where am I? What's happening? And she's sort of stumbling about a little bit.
Aye, lady, the blessings of Morden had freed you.
Well, I think it's great that her midriff allows the dark energy to just go out of her body. I think that is a very excellent fashion.
It's the navel. It's where you get,
Yeah, tree ants with navels and midriff shirts. Oh my gosh, the video viewers should really see this.
You get your Patreon dollars worth right here.
Seriously, she's a tree ant who obviously has an effect on wood. So now we're going to ask ourselves how long it will take Dwarf Major to incite her into attacking us, and then we have to defend ourselves against this ancient, peaceful being.
Well, it's Euphemia's turn, right?
It is Euphemia's turn.
Yes.
Just one game mechanic. Unfortunately, Euphemia, the reason that I apologize to you is because I cast a concentration spell, which means I lose my other concentration spell. So my wonderful bark skin is gone. You didn't even get a chance to use it. Sorry.
All right. I move up one. And can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I move up one square, and I want to observe the new tree sprite. And does it look like the tree that was attacking with the vines and Karluk is like de-animated? So like she was animating the tree, or were they like symbiotically together?
Make an investigation. Make an insight check there, investigator.
Or is it a nature check?
Yeah, nature.
Nature works too.
Insight?
I'll accept nature.
Oh, it bounced off a 19, folks.
Yeah, there's no
total 9.
You're not figuring that out.
Curse those virtual goals.
Then the next thing I'll do is I will say, tree sprite, how is it that you are part of that tree, and how are you feeling? We are not here to harm you. We are here to help.
She seems to be still recovering a bit from the energies, and she says, ever since the rift, something's been wrong. I couldn't help. I killed so many. My forest has killed so many. And she starts to sort of break down. She kind of falls to her knees and starts to weep into her hands.
I say, oh, don't worry, little tree sister. We can absolve you of your sins. We can heal you. We can play you soothing music. Karluk, perhaps you could play her a song. Tree Sprite, do you like the flute?
Aye, little sprite. Experience is a comb that nature gives you when we are bald. What you have done is not beyond your ability. We will now move on.
Are we still in turn, Russ, or are we out of combat?
I think at the moment you're out of combat, but we're going to leave the initiative tracker up here, just in case.
I step forward then.
Maybe she knows Radolf there, Dwarf Major. Why don't you see if you can,
Let me take care of her first. And I step forward over to here.
Well,
And I kneel down and I say, I am Thrall, Earthborn, guardian of the earth. Hear this nature spirit. Use it to heal yourself. And I cast healing spirit.
Ooh, nice.
I'll throw it into the thing here. So I call forth a nature spirit to soothe the wounded. The intangible spirit appears in a space that is 5 foot cube. You can see within range. The spirit looks like a transparent beast or fae. I will choose a fae. Until the spell ends, whenever you or a creature you can see moves into the spirit space for the first time on their turn or starts their turn there. So basically she can get a D6 plus my spell casting thing, I think it is. Spirit can heal, construct. Can't heal. The spirit can heal a number of times equal to 1 plus your spell casting.
Nice.
So she can get a D6 each round for 5 rounds.
Nice. All right. So the and you're putting that like right on her, like so she's kind of like.
Well, yeah, I'll put it like here. Let me get my drawing tool here.
She thinks she's being attacked.
I'm gonna check the crack and see if there's anything else that needs to be sealed.
I'll put it right here. Can I move it? As a bonus action, I can move it. So I'll have it appear before her so she knows it's not like I'm casting a harmful spell. And then I'll have it, it's going to look like a little fey dryad, let's call it, a little fey tree thing. And then I'll have it advance to her like in and offer its healing.
Awesome. So it floats forward and she sees it and she sort of recognizes it. She like eyes go wider and she says, I remember that form. And she touches it and it begins to glow all around her. And as it does so, she starts to change her shape even more, and the bramble and all the spikes start to fade away. And before you know it, hang on a second here. Let me just get this set up properly. She looks like she starts to change form, and then she suddenly looks like this. Like this. And she
it's covered her midriff.
She returns back. Yes, her midriff is not covered because we all know that, the good sprites cover the midriff and the evil goth sprites apparently don't. She looks much more like a conventional dryad and returns to that form and just, thank you. You have saved my very soul and the soul of these wood. I don't know how I can ever repay you. And she looks still weakened, but she seems very much recovered.
Oh, Dryad, we're sorry. We weren't able to save all your kin on the way in. That's my bad.
Is there anything left of this crevice, this crack? Dryad, can you tell us why this evil crack appeared here? Anything about it? Can you remember what caused it?
She says, I don't know I can't remember what started the rift or how it came to be in the heart of my wood. I just thank you so much for ridding us of this darkness. And by the way, the wood you're in now with her back in her dryad form, the sort of the trees that look all withered and decaying are starting to even now start to come back, looking a little stronger. Little buds appearing on the branches. The grass on the ground is starting to turn green. And the middle of the clearing is just grass. There's no crack. There's no rift. There's nothing. It's just gone.
As this is healing, I would like to use some combination of detect magic and identify to see if I can get any hints on what was the source of this. Like what caused this particular necrotic rift to show up in this place and keep it stable. Like, we never found the reason that kept it stable.
Yes. Go ahead and let's see. You can make an Arcana check, which we now know you're very good at. And I'll give you advantage for burning a spell slot, either using Detect Magic or was the other one you wanted to use?
identify, but I'd have to do it ritualistically because I don't have either of those memorized.
You can do a was it 10 minutes for the ritual?
10 minutes.
Yep, you can do that.
All right. Well, he starts that because I'm gonna walk up to near her and I say, do you have a name?
Yes, she says, because she's having trouble getting. It is hard for your tongue to pronounce, but it is Ikadra.
Ikadra, I am Ulrich Frostbeard. It is easy for me to pronounce.
She says, I see that, friend dwarf, and it was your hammer who struck the blow. I appreciate your taking the risk and indeed the damage. She looks at sort of some of your blackened forearms for the greater good.
Karlik goes, I got something I want to do too.
Okay, Ikadra, my friend here, and I reach up and put my hand on as far as I can reach on the arm of Kalik. He took a blow to the head that left him woozy. Is there anything you can do to help him?
She says, not now, not until my glade is healed, but for many centuries, people would come for miles around to seek the obelisk in the clearing and gain its blessings. So perhaps when the wood is fully recovered in a week or two's time, if you are sickly or injured, it might be able to cure you.
So I think, Kalik, if you smacked your head against it, it might work.
It is difficult to know, but not to do. Forgetting an ancestor is like being a stream without an origin, or a tree without roots. You are wise, Dryad, wiser than my brother. It is okay. We might stay here for a while and heal until Karlik feels like that dent in his head comes back or his horn regrows.
You're muted, Dan.
We call in the Dwarven language a tool.
All right, now we can hear from Karlik.
Those that make forges and weapons, I am that.
And kind Dryad, do you know anything about a green dragon that lives in these woods? It seemed to be demented or corrupted even more from the energies of the rifts.
There was no dragon in these parts when me and my wood were at our height of power. Once the rift appeared, I'm afraid I don't remember much.
There was a new one over a thunder tree, and I believe this rift increased his power. We must now go back and chase this creature away, or possibly, if possible, slay it. That is our next goal once we leave here. It's less than an hour ride or walk, I believe.
Well, if you will be doing more combat on our behalf, please take advantage of a small treasury of donations that I've piled up from some of those pilgrims that have come to the glade. It is right across from the obelisk. If you were to go to the obelisk and head to the northeast, you would find it there beneath a white birch.
Yeah, there's some plants in there and by that obelisk, which are not very fun. They're very acidic.
She kind of closes her eyes for a second, and then she opens them and says, I believe you will find they will bring you no harm.
I'll believe that after I pass it. Thank you, though.
Yes, Pyric.
I got a 20.
Oh,
dirty 20.
Nice. On the you got a 20 on your. Did you take your inspiration?
Yes, I rolled a 19 and a 13 total, and then I got the +1. Yeah.
So yeah, upon your pondering and your ritual. So it's been 10 minutes. While Pyric's doing this, the dwarves are having a conversation with the dryad. Anybody else doing anything? Yes. Euphemia?
Euphemia wants to walk up to the dryad, take her hand and pat it soothingly to see that she's back, and kind of just look with that halfling childlike innocence into her eyes, and just sits at her feet for a while all this is going on. And then before we leave, she'll have a question for her. And then I'm wondering, game mechanic-wise, John, does your spirit heal Euphemia too of the necrotic energy?
So here's the deal. It does. It's going to do 5d6 total, 1d6 around. But each person that takes it takes away a d6. So it depends on how much rust ruled she took away.
She slurped up 3.
So there's 2d6 left. So both you can take a 1d6, and if Thrall would dare to do such a thing, he could, or you could take both of them.
Thrall would not dare, and Ulrich won't go in it, so you can have them both.
That's what I meant.
Nice.
All right.
All right. So
you can get 4, so you get 7 hit points back.
So I'm up to full. Do you want me to hear what I want to do before I leave? That way you can put it in
go
whenever
ahead.
you want, Russ.
Go ahead.
I want to use a nature check, but with her, the dryad, and look for any kind of herbs and things that I can use for cooking, but even more importantly that I might be able to use for like healing poultices and stuff, but Euphemia knows nothing about healing. So like I'm wondering if I could ask her, you know, if she says, that little white flower, take that, that'll make a nice poultice, because I don't know how to make anything healing.
She gives you, she says, well, check under the old white birch. You might find some interesting objects there.
I will. Thank you.
And
Is there an old white birch around here?
she mentioned it was the one to the northeast of the obelisk. Yes, Pyric. Are you ready? It's been 10 minutes.
No.
Pyric wants to know what's
I'm
up.
going to. No, I'm waiting. The Paladin's greed is legendary. As soon as treasure is done, I know that I've got to get this done.
Okay,
before
no
we gotta
moving, Joe.
Run
All right,
off.
so before Pyric, Ulrich was running out. So Pyric, you with a 20, not natural, but still with your 20, you do gain a lot of insights with your ritualistic sort of analysis and scientific arcanatic examinations of the area. And you feel like you're not exactly certain, but you find there's some small bits in the grass around the area of components that are usually involved with either summoning or communing with either dark fae, but also you recognize some of it as being involved with summoning or communing with sometimes necromancy, but you also recognize a little bit of it as being involved with summoning or communing with demons as well. So it's a little fuzzy on exactly the source, but there was definitely some of that going on there as well. So it definitely feels like, though, because of the components were there, this wasn't just a random act of a natural event. Something was placed here to cause it.
I still have Amonkus. Is that his name? Amonkus?
Yeah.
Hammond.
Amonkus. I still have his notes, and he's a necromancer, so I'm going to check my findings against that eventually when we have time. That's obviously going to take a little bit of time.
Yeah.
But between sessions, Russ, if we get any sit-down elf, not sleep time, please put that in there.
Okay, all right.
If you don't mind.
I'll make a note there.
And I put notes in my big book about the components that I found, and I turn to Euphemia, and I say, Euphemia, this rift wasn't an accident.
No? What did you discover?
A nice dryad lady. Do you not remember anybody coming to this rift and doing a thing? Or coming to this glade and doing a thing?
She says, I don't, there's always pilgrims coming here before the darkness. I'm trying to remember, I just, right now I don't have the energy to try. I'm just trying to remember, but I can't.
Oh no, don't hurt yourself. It's fine. Don't worry about it. This is all just a hoot. We took care of it.
I'm making a check for her. No, she rolls a 2. She's having trouble getting to her memories.
No, we understand. Don't worry about it. It's no fuss. So what I need you to do, nice lady of the glade, is there any more hostile or foreign things in your glade that you're aware of? And do you need us to take care of them?
With the dark that dark energy gone, I think things should be returning to their peaceful normal. So you should be okay.
Okay, Dwarf Minder, it's treasure time. Let's go.
Pierre, do you enlighten us as to what you saw, what you found out?
Oh, yeah, but I know the treasure time means I have to move quickly. So when I say it's treasure time and it's move quickly, I mean it.
Before we go there, I must say, it sounds like somebody actually poisoned this glade. One of these people came here and did this on purpose. So I believe there's an evil afoot that's trying to poison the land. From what you have said, I'm not the most intelligent. That's why I rely on you for, your grace. But I am fairly wise in the way of evil deeds. We'll seek them out to destroy them. Someone came here and poisoned this poor dryad in the area for a reason.
Based on what Pyrex said, Russ, I'm going to go around this using my survival check to see if I can find any unique tracks.
Oh, go for it. Make a check.
I'm heading with Pierre to the treasure.
I'm going to use my inspiration that you gave me.
Okay, yeah. So he's searching for unique tracks.
So I got an 18.
18. You do find, the good news is there hasn't been a lot of traffic here. Since whatever darkness came, there are those few dead bodies. But you do find some boot prints that are kind of unique looking. And you with sort of some stars in the heel. And so which is not a very common boot print.
Huck Finn's been here.
I distract the greedy paladin as he approaches, and I'm like, did you check the bodies?
What bodies?
There are 3 bodies that are all like charred around the rift.
Oh, I don't care about that. Where's that elm or bird?
Is there a well? Where's the nearest well?
Where's the well?
No, those bodies are a well.
Amakus was investigating the well too.
I was thinking that, and Euphemia sighs and looks at Ulrich and says, I wonder what there was to discover at the bottom of that rift.
I wouldn't go there, and almost killed me the first time.
All right, so by the way, you all notice Pyric has left the glade. Actually, several people left the glade. So people have moved out of the glade.
I'm behind Ulrich.
And are back in the... Pyric has actually been very brave. So Pyric is actually uncharacteristically in the lead, heading toward where the presumed treasure is.
Alec, what are you doing? Grazing over there in the corner?
Carluck, why don't we pause moving models for a second? Stop moving. Let me go back to zoom in on the screen here. So one of the things I didn't mention to our listeners, we're trying Discord for the first time tonight. And what I'm liking about it is I have sort of like, I feel like I'm in a camera booth. I can control which the main picture is. So I can zoom back and forth from different people's faces when they're talking and having a little soliloquy. So it's a lot of fun. Anyway, so half the party has run out of the room while people were talking. So Pyric has run past the hut with the purple flowers on it, but fortunately it seems like the Dryad was speaking true, and Pyric has not been attacked by the flowers. Followed closely by Ulrich, then Euphemia, then Carluck, and now Thrall. So it seems like everyone is racing towards where the presumed treasure is.
Elf. Let's go, your grace.
It's like any decorum has been lost. I don't even know what happened to the Dryad. We're like, peace, we're out. And we're running for the treasure.
No, I'm going to definitely circle back with the Dryad and those dead bodies.
Did you say treasure?
Obviously, yeah. But after the last time, the last treasure we got were horses, and we saw how well these guys treated the horses.
You fed them to the dragon.
We got to pause for a second because now in the party's panic for treasure, this is the best part. People are going different ways and interpreting the direction the Dryad gave in different interpretations. So Pyric, you guys can no longer see Pyric. You don't know where he went. All right, he's just gone. This was not anticipated. So now, meanwhile, in the center of the clearing near the obelisk, there's still Thalric and Euphemia. Thalric and Karlik in the back. Ulrich's in the middle. Euphemia's in the middle. Ulrich, you're kind of in second place. I know where Pyrrhic's going because he's way ahead. Ulrich, where are you going?
Ulrich, she said to the, I think, northwest of the obelisk. So I'm looking around this area for a some sort of birch tree.
Yeah. So
what's a birch tree look like?
Keep going that direction. You'll have to keep. You do see in that way where you're pinging. Right. You're seeing a little path leading off of the thing.
All right,
this way.
I stay with Euphemia.
Euphemia,
show me the way, little sister.
Yep. So Euphemia, you actually.
No, I picked the wrong way.
Yeah, Euphemia, you should be seeing a birch tree now. Is that correct?
I see it.
Yeah, Euphemia can see the birch tree.
It's white. I get
it. Euphemia, you also see this standing boldly right in front of the birch tree. Just standing there, very boldly, right there, with its arms crossed, and it's just standing there.
Okay. I say to Ulrich, I don't think that creature, whatever that is, that's a scary-looking tree creature. I don't know if that got the message from the Dryad, the tree sister.
So this creature, by the way, for those only on audio, it's this sort of a vine creature. It's big, it's bulky. If you imagine like a stone golem, except it's made out of vines, that's what you're looking at, this sort of humanoid tangled shape of green vines with sort of an uncertain bearing. All right, so go ahead, Euphemia. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's totally fine. So I'm going to cast a nature or insight check, whatever is the most appropriate, to try to see if it's heard the Dryad's missive to step down and go back to its natural calm state.
All right, go for it.
I'll do a nature roll. Hey, natural 20.
Nat 20. Hey, take yourself a card. There you go, Euphemia. I dropped the card in the middle of the screen. Right-click on it to take it. Nice roll. So you learn a bunch of things about vine golems. You're like, oh, this is a vine golem. I've heard of these things. They generally serve a master. So like other golems, they are subservient to someone. And you sort of, you feel, because you did so well with your role and you're so intuitive and you're such a good investigator, you feel a very parallel energy coming from this creature that you felt coming off the Dryad. And in fact, when the Dryad was more in that dark form and change, you're feeling the change happen from this creature as well. Like it was darker and it feels a little lighter now. But you're not really sure how much of the darkness has left it yet. There might still be some lingering, it could be like a Cranberry song. Could have left a little bit lingering. Just a little bit.
So
we didn't have to let it linger. We didn't have to, but we did.
Although I believe that tenacity and adversity are old enemies, it might be best to check with the Dryad before we go in there and tangle with that golem. Unless your grace wants to go first.
I look to Pyrrhic.
Oh, I can go ask her. No one took care of the bodies, but I will go do that. Don't let the greedy paladin worry about his vows of ownership or any other kind of horrible things he has to do with property. I slump by and I'm like, this is why he's dwarf nature, and I keep on grumbling my way back to the Lady of the Glade.
As he leaves, they say, a bit of impatience will ruin big plans.
You don't have to worry about the bodies. They will return to the earth and enrich it.
Oh yeah, I'm not. It's the stuff that won't enrich anything that I'm concerned about. Dwarf nature, it's fine.
All right, if you go green.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
Yep.
So I go back to Lady Glade. Say, hey, your golem's there, Lady of the Glade. Is that going to be a problem?
He should be. She's like, and she closes her eyes for a second and starts to concentrate. It's strange. I can't quite get a message. I'm sensing intense pain. It's almost like the darkness has driven him mad, and his inability to communicate with me has driven him a bit insane. I can't seem to get a good message to him.
It's like having a brother.
This inspires Pyric in how to teach dwarves lessons. So I'm going to take my time. And I'm going to inspect these bodies over here, turning out their pockets and other kinds of stuff. And then I'll come back to the group after I feel like.
All right.
I stand in between Euphemia and the golem just in case it comes after us. Making sure it goes after me instead of Euphemia.
All right.
Karlik, I think we should look at the stone and see if we can help your injury.
What does Kalik want to do? Kalik, guess. I guess. Yeah. What's that, Thralric? I heard you talking to that dryad. I didn't quite follow, though.
She said something about coming back in a couple weeks, but maybe if we study it now, it'll give us a heads up. I'm hoping it can... I noticed you have like this large lump on your head, and usually they go away, but this one has not. It's almost like a fifth horn.
Fifth horn.
Sixth horn.
Kalik's going to try. He's been thinking about maybe a song or a tune to play, maybe about like winter being on a land, but then it rejuvenating and life coming back to it as spring comes along. So maybe I'm going to do a little maybe dance around the stone and just kind of
pull out my bongos and give him a bass to his song.
Yes.
So you're going to dance around some kind of like ritualistic sort of nature thing.
I've heard dryads dance around these things all the time. This has got to
but
work.
they're usually naked.
I don't think let's not do that.
All right. A line must be drawn. All right. So Karlik, are you gonna use any bardic tools here to aid in this endeavor?
Yeah, I'm going to use my pan flute, and then I always imagine like a performance skill.
Okay, that seems right.
I'll aid him with a rhythmic drum beat with some druidic chanting.
Okay, I'd say adding druidic aid in this case actually works, so that gives you advantage, Karlik.
Perfect. All right, as I'm dancing around it, I'm going to try to do. Oh man!
Well, there's a natural one with the first roll.
Natural one.
So that's a good start.
Got it.
That's a great start. You could lose another point of intelligence here.
I could. I'm going to try to mimic the little healing sprite that was dancing around the dryad earlier.
All right.
In my dance. 15.
15. That's a good roll. You're feeling pretty good. And in fact, a little bit of energy does come out of the obelisk, and it recharges one of your lowest spent spell slots.
Oh, nice.
So you get one low-level spell slot back. Sadly, it does not permanently heal your intelligence, but does a little benefit for you, little something for the effort,
If that worked for us, we would strap Joe to the obelisk until he was safe.
It only brings you back to your normal intelligence. You can't make him smart.
Oh, you can't heal through stupid. Okay, then.
Euphemia is looking back, looking at the creature and wanting to get those flowers, and Ulrich's impatient.
Yeah, it's very distracting, Euphemia, because you're trying to analyze this vine creature, and there's this crazy musical ritual going on behind you with a half-naked minotaur and a dwarf on drums.
Yeah, Euphemia says, it must be fine to go ahead, Ulrich, because Pyric hasn't come back. He must just be talking to the dryad.
You can't hear Pyric saying anything because he's literally like two areas away.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I feel that I feel my brother and the cow have gotten insane around that stone. And Pyric, something terrible might have befallen him, but I do not wish that tree to harm us or harm you in particular. We will wait till everybody has gathered their wits among them, and then we can search this together.
That's probably wise.
Remember, distant water does not extinguish a nearby fire.
I will
Joe, take a point of inspiration because you've been throwing those all night. That was great.
That is great. I'll do a nature check
himself
to see if I can't determine how to make the insanity ease out. Like, is there something that can be done? Can Karlik do a dance? Does he have to get close to the dryad? I'm going to try to determine if there's a way to ease the golem's suffering.
Well, you feel like
Ulrich, I'm sure the golem only needs a big hug. Go up and give him a hug.
So, Euphemia, you got a pretty good roll there. What's your total?
Well, I'm confused. It shows a 7, but it says I rolled a 23.
It looks like a 17 to me.
17.
So you rolled a 17.
23.
So yeah, so that's a good roll. You feel like it might be possible maybe to sort of shock the golem back to sanity using similar energies that close the rift. But it'd be risky.
Perfect.
Yeah. Well, probably very
right.
little chance anything's going to go wrong.
Ulrich, I have just the solution. I have studied the tree. It seems like a little love tap from your hammer.
I love the
We'll solve
interpretation.
this,
Just have the dwarf hit it. That's what you want to do.
Will solve this golem. It'll bring the golem back into its natural form.
I normally, little sister, that would be a good idea because remember, without pain, no one becomes a saint. However, I feel it would cause me more pain than it.
I said, Ulrich, I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Experience can lead to skills, my friend. I must rest more before I can channel Moradin into my hammer again.
I lean into Calic and I say, seems like the puppet has cut his strings, Don.
Okay.
All right. Pyric, yes. You've had time to search the bodies. Unfortunately, they're so charred from necrotic energy damage. There's really nothing of value or they're even beyond recognition. There's really nothing there.
That's not the real reason for me checking them. The real reason for me checking them is, do I have any idea of what their origins might be? And do I think they might be sacrifices that were originally fed to the rift?
Ooh, that's smart.
Oh.
I didn't think of that.
All right. Make an insight check.
Insight check. Mm-hmm. Okay, where's this? Oh, here's my insight check. Insight is good. Let's do it. Yeah, 12.
12? Yeah.
Piecing together my earlier clues. Do I have any insight?
No, you feel like 12's not a super great roll, so you really feel like it's unclear. You do feel like these guys may have been here since the rift formed. So they could have been involved, but that's all you can get out of it.
That's good enough for me.
I feel this is a safe place to camp out now. The dark magic's gone, Russ.
Actually, the whole vibe of these woods now, the energy is feeling really pretty positive. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, the giant thing made of vines, a little bit intimidating, but it's intimidating the same way a lawful good plate mail paladin with a two-handed sword would be intimidating to stare into the watchful eyes of that guy. It feels like this guy's full-on guardian mode, but also a little crazy.
So really the only evil in this whole glade is really my brother singing.
That's from your point of view, yes. Yes, from your point of view.
I think it's greed. Is the only evil left.
I say we can't. Yeah, my wounds need to be tended to. I can clean my hammer up and my armor from the scorch marks of that necrotic damage. We can tend to this beast in the morning. Is there anybody against that?
I tell Euphemia who's in charge. Euphemia, the lady of the glade is having a problem talking to her sentinel. So if we want to fix his error, we'll have to do it ourselves. Did you come up with any insights?
I did. Upon studying it, pacing back and forth, and watching Ulrich cleanse the rift, it seems that Ulrich just has to, with just the right amount of force, smash its hammer into his breastbone. Not to kill it.
Both dwarves helped. Dwarf Major, I start calling in the thrall's direction. Do you have any dwarf juice or druid juice left for the purposes of cleansing a tree spirit?
He's been peeing all over the glade. He's got plenty of juice left.
He's not talking to you, you ass. Keep your mouth shut for the change. I can raise the roots around it like I did the rift.
If you can,
comfort it.
If you could comfort it and reinforce it and maybe bleed some of this. Yeah, raise those roots. If you could raise its roots a little bit in such a way that it could like filter off some of this corruption so it dissipates, I think he might be able to reestablish the connection with the lady of the glade.
You know what that'd be like, Pyric?
Oh, go ahead.
That'd be like a big hug. Right? All the vines hugging. It'd be like a big hug.
I go, all right,
Yeah,
Carly.
like a big group hug.
Carly, it's solo time. And I start walking off.
Gallic's going to follow you. I feel good, Thralric. I'm going to assist. I'll cast.
Oh, that sounds like it should be the name
of the time.
All right.
Move aside.
So what are you doing there? So Thralric is trying to make his way to the entrance to the little white birch glade there. So just off the northeast.
As he goes by.
I push past Ulrich like he's not even there.
Things are difficult till they become easy, brother.
I feel wind on but I don't know. Is it just a wind or a breeze? I'm not sure what that is.
Pretty sure it was your wind. Keep moving.
I'm gonna rip one in this direction. All right. I'm gonna cast it in there. I learned this cool thing too. I don't know. So I don't know if you knew this, Russ, but you can actually move your drawings.
Yeah, you can click and move them. Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, like if you make a radius effect.
Yeah, you can drag it around. Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
So anyway, it pretty much fills the room.
Are you doing entangle again?
Yeah, I'll remove the spell now.
All right. So you're doing entangle, and you're going to kind of like entangle the entire grove with.
The reaching out with a hugging touch. It doesn't do any damage anyway.
Right.
It's just a.
So the entangle spell goes through the grove, winding up the white birch, which, as you guys have been watching it, because Euphemia and Ulrich have been kind of watching the glade for a little while, the white birch is becoming a little more white and seems to be getting a little healthier. And it also seems like the vine creature seems to also be getting a little healthier. And initially, when the entangling vines start to wrap around the base of the golem, it sort of reacts to it negatively, but then it sort of starts to settle in a little bit and kind of lets its own vines kind of wrap in with those of your spell. And it just sort of, the vines sort of winding together, and this sort of like, as much as a vine creature can look satisfied, you kind of hear this loud, like, sigh come out of it. And it sort of leans back against the tree, and it sort of starts to semi-meld to the tree and just sort of sits there quietly, sort of basking, if you will, in an entangling massage of vines.
I've heard moans of satisfaction more times in my long life than they have, and so I realize it's treasure time. So I am now stepping.
I feel like that was the description of some certain animes that you find in the adult section.
What? I do not know. What are you talking about? All right. And now that I feel like he is relaxed and unsettled, I am going to go to this area in the birch and look in and start handing things back to who's obviously a paladin behind me, because their greed is legendary.
All right, you go in there.
In adversity, your true feelings are revealed, Your Grace.
All right, so you go in there, and the vines are wiggling everywhere, the entangle stuff, and the large golem is sort of relaxing against the tree, all covered in vines. And I need you to make a perception check to kind of find where you want to stick your hand in this situation.
Oh.
I will assist with that.
Okay. You get advantage now, Seth, because the dwarf's helping you.
Put your hand in that hole.
All right, that's okay.
While we're doing that, I'm going to do some Zakai ritual earth runes and druidic runes next to the totem, just hanging out.
All right. How'd you do, Seppi?
Okay, if his assistant helps, if I got to roll twice, then I got a 19.
19 is very good, Euphemia. So, Pyric. So, so you do find pretty obviously there is a small hole at the base of the white birch on the backside that you find pretty easily.
Oh, perfect.
And back there,
yeah.
you look inside there, you look like you see a pouch and some other items and some gleaming. And so you start to kind of pull this stuff out. You find a bag of coins. You find there's 300 copper pieces, 132 silver pieces in there. There's also, as you're...
300 copper, how much?
What's that?
Silver?
132 silver, 300 copper. And you're kind of a little disappointed when you see all those, lower value coins, but then your eyes caught by these bright gems known as tiger eyes. And each of these tiger eyes is worth 10 gold each. So that's really 30 gold worth of gems. You also find a green stone mug in the shape of a hooting owl. And you can tell it's a hooting owl because its little mouth is open like, whoo. And that thing is probably worth a lot of money, probably about 50 gold. So someone obviously left a nice tribute to the Dryad once upon a time. Also, a bottle of very fine perfume worth probably 5 gold to the right shop. Also pretty good. You also find what is pretty clearly a magic potion. And you also find a beautiful polished mahogany and steel scroll case. And the scroll case itself is probably worth 25 gold just for the high quality case. But peeking inside of it, you see a scroll, and with your level of skill, you immediately, plus with your immensely powerful Arcana native abilities now, you immediately recognize it as the Dispel Magic scroll.
Oh.
And if you want to be all like a wine expert and kind of rotate the potion around and look at the legs in the light, you probably could make an Arcana check and identify the kind of potion it is too, because you're such a Mr. Arcana guy.
Oh, I would love to do that if you don't mind.
I'll assist if it helps. It gets advantage.
It does not.
Oh. I love all this helping. Thank you so much.
Good for a reach around.
Wow.
Oh, absolutely. That is 21.
Nice.
And
you easily identify that based on its viscosity and color. It's clearly a potion of growth. Everybody knows that. Come on. It's Ricky.
Ooh.
No big.
Roll. Okay. So, coins, gems, hooting owl mug, perfume, potion, scroll case, mahogany and silver scroll
Mahogany
case?
and steel. Mahogany and steel.
Steel.
Because silver's a little soft. The high quality scroll cases throw a little steel on there just to make sure, it can handle a little damage.
Yeah. And then a Dispel Magic scroll.
Then a Dispel Magic scroll inside the case, yes.
Okay. Alrighty then. So, I lay this stuff out so folks can see what's there, and then point to Euphemia, who is looking for growth herbs, where I found these things.
Yeah, Euphemia, using her nimbleness, the picture I want people to see is she's kind of skipping and dancing through the vines, like swinging on them, ducking through the holes and the vines, and she's looking for something she may recognize that could be useful to the party, as well as she needs to replenish her stock of basil, mint, and parliament, which has the flavoring of cilantro. And when she finds them, she has a little leather, those leather roll cases that chefs use to hold their knives? Yep. She has one of those, but she can tuck the mint and the basil in the little pockets and then roll it up.
Make a nature check there, Euphemia, as you dance around looking for your various plants.
23.
All right, so you notice every time you're kind of hopping around the glades and different spots, Sometimes you'll hop back into sort of the larger clearing where the huts are. And whenever you get near the obelisk, you start thinking about the kind of herb you're looking for. And suddenly it sort of sprouts up near the obelisk, the exact herb you want. And so you sprouted by again, you're like, ooh, and there's the thyme. Ooh, and there's the rosemary. And it just happens to always be near the obelisk whenever you go skipping by. You never actually see it grow. It's just sort of there when you look. But you could swear it wasn't there a minute ago. That's almost like the obelisk is sort of saying, thank you.
Euphemia, I'm pretty sure if you search the golem, he has nothing but time on his hands. So if you need time, there's plenty of it.
Wow.
One thing you begin to learn about Euphemia is she never uses rosemary and thyme. Hates those spices.
Wow. Okay.
Not a big fan of Simon and Garfunkel.
That's right. All right, I'm writing all that down.
Okay. Cowlick, you want any of these things? Does would perfume help you with certain types of performances?
Actually, I could put that in my disguise kit. If I'm trying to look like a haughty elf or something, a little perfume and probably.
We love that.
I feel like you have suffered the most, and you still seem a little fuzzy. Do you want any of this stuff? I feel like you have paid the most price for our shenanigans here in the Lady of the Glades secret garden.
No, but I will help carry whatever you need, Pyrrhic.
Well, I'm getting just between you and me, Cowlick. One of the reasons I wanted to save the horses was because it has all our stuff, and I think we need that stuff. And now we got to go fight the dragon.
Hopefully, it's much smaller.
Okay, then.
You didn't get to thrust your staff into the rift, but perhaps your staff can lead us forthwith into the dragon cave.
Oh, I always have time for staff work, Cowlick. I'm glad that you keep this in mind.
It's what I think about.
Russ, I don't know if this is...
Yes, Euphemia. Sorry.
I don't know if this is stretching the powers of the obelisk too far, but while skipping around, I'm also trying to learn if I can look for any herbs or plants that have medicinal properties that I could have, grind up into a solution. Not a potion per se, but just a healing draught.
Oh. Well, I don't know. Go ahead and make another nature check.
Okie doke.
This obelisk is obviously arcana, it doesn't channel anything divine, right?
Well, you haven't really checked it out. No one else has mentioned divinity, but you haven't tried yet.
All right,
17.
I'm going to go.
Rafe, what's your total on that check?
17.
Yeah, unfortunately, not a lot of healing stuff popping up.
Okie doke.
All right, and I'm just going to pray over Moradin and on this obelisk. I put my hammer down, kneel down on one knee, one out, put my hand on it, and say a prayer to Moradin over it, and it guides, and the stone only does good things.
Harlan's going to play on his painfully good, meditative background song.
Achievement unlocked. Make a religion check.
You've made it to the end of another D6 Generation episode.
Is,
the podcast whose humor has universally been acclaimed as not too horrible. Please let us know what you thought of the show by emailing us at
19?
info at
to 20 actually, but I get a minus one. Nat 20.
If for some inexplicable reason you actually enjoyed this show, you can help others find out about it by leaving positive reviews on iTunes.
Right, click on it, just use take
Thanks
cards.
for listening, and happy
Yeah,
gaming.
so Nat 20, you are absolutely certain there is no divine connection between this stone and any of the gods you normally associate with, and certainly not your god directly, unfortunately. So there's no divine connection.
The schemes of man are inferior to those made by Moradin.
But you also do get a little bit of a message from your god, rolling a natural 20, that he senses connectivity to the darker planes and the rift.
Yeah, this rift is definitely by those of evil intent. Demons of some sort.
And he gives you sense a feeling of appreciation. Not really thanks. Your God doesn't really do the thank you thing, but more of an appreciation for your involvement in cleansing the rift.
Nice.
I feel good. I feel very good. I go over, I look at my brother, and I don't scowl and walk past him.
Wow.
Thrall, aren't there Druidic runes on this obelisk?
I don't know.
Yes.
I've been looking at it for
there
a
are
long
Druidic
time.
runes.
There
are Druidic runes.
In the very beginning.
Yeah.
You said
There are.
Actually, can I read what it says?
It doesn't say a specific statement. It's more just like ley lines and channeling natural power and arcanic power. So it's kind of like forming a strong connection between nature and arcana.
Do I feel like if I wrote Thrall was here in Druidic, that'd be bad?
Yeah, that might not go over well. Yeah.
Just checking.
Okay. So I collect the stuff and I come back to the group and I say, Euphemia, now that the lady has returned to her proper state of mind, this area is all of hers and all this stuff belongs to her. And so I feel like we should leave her in peace so that she can heal. I do not feel like we are harmful, but we are maybe not the most peaceful presence. That maybe we should leave her to recuperate, or we should quiet ourselves and take a rest and a moment to shore ourselves up before we have to go return to Radar, because we do not know what kind of effect sending out that dark pulse did to all the things that were affected by it.
I think that is very wise, and I think Shield Brother, he took a lot of dark magic from that rift, so I think he needs to rest most of all.
He looks fine.
I'm a little bit toasty, Derek. A little bit toasty, Your Grace.
My counsel.
Oh, okay then.
My counsel, Euphemia, is that we stay here and we rest. But I will follow your lead.
I agree. Stay here and rest. And if the Dryad would allow us, maybe we can find some conies, or
maybe you can just think about them and they'll appear at the bottom of the stone.
Maybe I can think about them and they will appear cooked.
I do not
like
think that. I think they're vegetarians. Let's not eat the things that live in her sanctuary. Let's maybe some eggs. How do you feel about eggs?
Eggs would be fantastic.
Okay.
One of the things that we should do on the way out, just so you know, I found a particular marking on around the rift. I'd like to check out where that statue was pulled down and see if it was these dragon cultists that were involved in the rift.
First, we must deal with the green dragon, Venom Fang, or whatever his name was.
We'll deal with him in time, but we'll pass the statue on the way. There's no harm in looking.
All right.
Okay, so are we taking a long rest?
So tell me your plans, because we're almost at pause points. This is a really good pause point. So it sounds like the plan is long rest, then head back to Thunder Tree?
Yes.
All right.
Everybody agree with that?
Yes.
Does taking a long rest after such a big accomplishment level us all
Yeah, didn't
up?
we reach a milestone?
Not quite yet, but we're close. But not quite yet. The whole purpose of coming here, you're very close. There's just one more little thing you got to deal with. I'm not going to spoil it, but just one more small thing you got to deal with, and then maybe we're at a milestone.
Can we assume we got a long rest in?
You can assume you got a long rest in between now and next session. So yes, we're gonna take a long rest. You're in the safety of the glade now. So yes, everything's gonna go. You're gonna have the best possible long rest. It's gonna be very restful.
Someone was exhausted. so that's good.
Yeah, we'll still do watches.
Yeah, and Karlik, you're going to lose your point of exhaustion. That goes away too. You're going to be feeling really, really refreshed. Still not quite as smart, but refreshed. So that's good.
Calic doesn't know it.
Okay.
Excellent. All right. So
for the long
go ahead.
So for the long rest, I want to, for next week, if we're playing there, Russ, if I find anything with this necrotic energy, the clues that we had, and Amankus' notes.
All right. Oh, yeah. Well, we'll put that little...
yeah, that's right.
Studying during long rest. Pyric is studying Hammond's notes and necrotic energy discoveries, right?
And Euphemia will go to the Dryad to see what she's permitted to collect to make a fresh salad with nuts and seeds. But again, I mean, she's not going to just start plucking plants that might be sacred to the
She
grove.
asks you to do no harm to the plant life, and please don't take any animal life.
Okay, that's why I wanted to seek her permission.
Before we break, do we want to hand the magic potion out to somebody? Anybody but Thalric?
I don't want your magic potion.
It wouldn't do you any good. So.
Well, it's growth. Any short fellas want to be a little taller for a bit?
So if you drink it, it gives you advantage on strength tests and strength checks. It doubles your size and I think 8 times your weight, but then it also gives you an extra D4 on your damage you do. But you're large size.
Sounds horrible.
Right? Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, either Karlik or myself would be the best ones to get that.
Oh yeah, I think you should have it, Ulrich. I think you needed a little bit more strength, if I remember correctly, multiple times in this last set of shenanigans. Oh, but more importantly, next session you have to tell us the stories of our exploits.
True.
Oh yes.
True.
Yes, Ulrich does the summary.
There's always one in the crowd. Thank you, Seppi.
Right. Excellent.
Absolutely.
And do you want to divide the coins up, Seppi, or do you want? And what do you want to do with the mug and the tiger eye gems or whatever? What do you guys?
Anyone can have any of the stuff. Yeah. I only care about knowledge.
I would like the mug.
Yeah,
you get the scroll. You got the scroll in the scroll case, Seppi, right?
Yes, I did.
Because that's
I don't. You can have whatever you want, except for this scroll case and this scroll.
Yeah.
Except for that.
And this lamp. And this lamp.
This lamp.
And
all right. So just to be clear, Pyric has the scroll and scroll case. Euphemia has the mug, right? The hooting owl mug. Ulrich has the potion. Is that right?
Okay.
And I don't know what you guys are doing with the money and the gems. I presume you're going to sell those off and just distribute the gold evenly as McKen.
Ulrich, I have no need for that stuff.
All right.
So divide by 4.
Yeah. All right. Excellent.
I will hold on to it for right now.
Job.
Okay.